What's up guys, my name's Lexus Amour David, and today I'm going to tell you about some of the wild things that happened while I was a cashier. Okay, so here's the first one. I was a barista on a college campus and we would always get tours by middle schoolers. When it came to the names on the cup, sometimes we would get fun things like, oh, can I have Voldemort written on the cup or whatever. I was taking this little boy's order, probably like 12, maybe 13 at the most. And it came time for me to write his name on the cup. So I was like, name please. And he was like, you can put daddy. What? Hello? Like, sir, do you want this flyer on puberty before you come up to me making those kind of requests? He's like surrounded by girls. Like there's 3 girls around him and they're all like giggling. What? One on each side and then one kind of in the back. And I'm like, is this your posse? Like, who are, what? They're all just kind of like giggling like, oh my gosh, he did it. Sis, are you attracted to red flags? Cause, I was stunned. I just kind of like, there was a freeze frame in my movements. The woman was too stunned to speak. In one hand, I commended his ballsiness. I was like, wow, this dude is a little brave. This little kid must be really brave to come up to me, say it without stuttering, not have any signs of anxiety, and like have a smirk too. Okay, let me take notes. On the other hand, I was like, where's your mama? Moving on, so it's Halloween, right? And I'm one of the only people dressed up because I had a morning shift, but I digress. And I'm wiping the counter and then this man races up to me and he's like, can I talk to your manager? He scared the crap out of me, if I'm honest. And I look up and like he has friends around him and one of the friends is recording me and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm sorry, let me go get a manager. And I walk away and he's like, oh wait, come back, come back. No, this is just my costume. I'm a Karen. And he had like a name tag that said Karen. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to see like what would happen. And I was like, okay. I don't know whatever happened to that video. If it's out there somewhere, hopefully I look okay. Anyway, I had this other customer come in and ask for a matcha latte, venti, so it had 4 scoops of matcha. And she was like, how much is it to add more matcha? And I was like, anything that's already an ingredient in the drink, it's free to add more. And she's like, really? So could I get 13 if I wanted to? And I was like, yeah, you could. And she was like, okay, I want 13. I take her order and then I wash my hands and I start making her drink. And she's like standing at the bar. I didn't even realize she was standing like on the other side of the bar. So anyway, I put the scoops in and I'm shaking away. And then she's like, oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's not 13 scoops of matcha. And I was like, sorry? And she's like, no, that's not 13 scoops of matcha. You're trying to like give me less. I counted 12. Bitch, that's because you don't know how to count. Why would I like skim you off 1 matcha as if the matcha comes out of my paycheck? Okay, let me now add in the 14th scoop to your matcha and have it right up for you. I was a cashier at a few different places, but the worst happenstances by far were, 1, I got wet money on more than 1 occasion. The first one was soaking wet, drenched money. It looked like it was wet with water. There was no color to it, but I just kind of like looked at the guy and I was like, and he didn't say anything. I looked at him, letting him know I was confuzzled, and he just, sir? Anyway, I took the money, then sanitized. Moving on to another wet money that I got was from the drive-thru. This lady had the audacity to give me her crusty, dusty 20 from her bra that was covered in sweat. Child, when she pulled this up to grab that money, you could see chapstick and all the other stuff she had in there. And this wet, it was damp, but like, ew, ew. That's your like bodily secretion on the ew. And then this one was the most questionable one of the 3, but I got money with blood on it. And I didn't ask for an explanation. I didn't want an explanation. Oh, whoa, I almost threw up. Okay, wait, I almost threw up. Hold on. Whew. Oh, I almost threw up right now. I almost lost it. Yeah, so he handed me the money and I'm like putting it in the drawer, so I'm like unfolding it and I flip it over because for some reason I always had my money facing the same way in my register. But on the back, just smeared across it was just blood. Bright red, so it wasn't like oxidized, it was fresh. And like, I couldn't help but like, when I'm giving him his change, I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything because is it your blood or is it somebody else's blood? I'm not saying anything. Yeah, when I'm giving him his change, I'm like trying to like low-key look at his hands to see like maybe he just cut himself getting out the car, or like, you know, maybe he has a pocket knife and like sliced his hand when he's getting the money but like had like a poker face. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want to know. It was so disturbing. Another type of monthly encounter was, if you don't know, most fast food places, if not all of them, are on a timer. So as soon as you pull up to the window, there's a timer that starts counting down for them to give you your food to get you in and out. And that sends corporate a message on how well they're doing as far as pacing and food preparation and all that. So anyway, this car just left the speaker. They pull up to the drive-thru. We had their food ready. Like, I asked them all the necessary questions at the speaker. Their sauce, their napkins, their drinks, their everything was prepped at the window. Their total was like $16, something like that. And he handed me a jar of coins, which you can pay on coins, that's absolutely fine. But the thing that I had a problem with is when he handed me the jar of coins, he told me to count it. He was like, oh, here, count this. Are you not gonna pre-count it before you hand it to me and I can just double check to make sure it was right? Like, you literally are handing me this jar, which I'm gonna be straight up, about 50% of this jar was pennies. Like this was a big jar. And I'm just like in awe. Cause like, why didn't you come inside? Why would you go to the drive-thru where we're on a timer and where I'm the unfortunate soul who's gonna get yelled at for keeping you here for longer than you're supposed to be because you didn't want to count your own change? Like, change is still money, you can pay in that, but like, don't waste my time. So after a while, the general manager came up, bro. Why was I working with her? She came up and she was like, why are you taking so long? Bro, she said it in regular tone, loud. The customer heard her, and I was just like flabbergasted. I was like, I have to count this. She was like looking at him and like kind of looking back and like looking at that, and then she goes and takes it to like, we had this coin. It wasn't a coin counter. Essentially, it was a scale that would weigh the coins and tell you how much it was. So then, which I would have loved to have known in the beginning, but so she got it, she started separating all the pennies from the quarters, from the dimes, from the whatever, and starts counting it that way. But she was so mad. She was so mad, bro. Finally, she got it done and that car was there. We did it in an okay time, I guess. It was like 5-6 minutes, which isn't horrible under the circumstances, but we were supposed to get the car out in under 90 seconds. So every single car after that, she was on my butt to get it out fast. And one of the cars I got out too fast to where they didn't like trick the timer yet. And I couldn't win with her, bro. She was so mad at me. I didn't even do anything. She got to the point where she started saying like, this is now just a tangent, but she got to the point where she started telling me to not only ask about what kind of sauce they want at the speaker to kind of keep them there a little bit longer, but for us to also have it prepared. She got me asking how many sauces. So I started doing that. Like she said, I was asking like, hi, what kind of sauce do you want? I want this kind. Okay, how many do you want? And the people that were thrown off, they were like, I don't know, maybe this much. She loved that because it kept them at the speaker for that much longer. But this one customer that was at the speaker, when I asked her, she was not having it. She was like, what kind of question is that? Why are you asking me that? And I was like, oh, it's just, you know, policy for us to kind of have an idea so we don't undersauce or oversauce you. And she was like, that's ridiculous. Okay, okay, give me 73. If I have to pick a number, give me 73. And I was like, okay. And then my boss had me park her, which we weren't supposed to do. So I had her pull up and say like, hey, I'll walk out and hand you your food. And so I start counting to get to 73 sauces. And my boss comes up and she's like, Lexus, you're wasting time. She grabs a handful of sauce, stuffs it in the bag. I go walk out to hand her her bag. And she looks me dead in my face and was like, is there 73 sauces in here? Bro, why is my, like, I can't lie. My default is truth, honestly. So I was like, yeah, there's about 73 sauces in there. Lie. And I think she saw me hesitate and she's like, okay, so if I go home and count this, there's 73 sauces in here. And I was like, And so the very last thing that I have is, when it came to money, around the holidays specifically, we would always check it with the marker to see if it's counterfeit. I worked across the street at this fast food place. It was across the street from a strip club. So I had this woman come in, well, through the drive-thru, and she handed me a stack of ones. And she was a really pretty lady. I'm just saying 1 + 1 = 2. But anyway, here's the tea. She handed me these ones, and I'm just like, out of habit, I like run my marker across it just to see like quickly. And bro, like 40–50% of her ones were fake. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm so sorry, but like, these are showing up as counterfeit. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I marked them and they're coming up as fake. And she was like, well, mark them again. I'm doing all the show. I'm marking them, I'm scratching the collar, I'm holding it up to the light. I was like, ma'am, these are fake ones. And she was like, okay, well, can I have them back? Legally, I cannot give you fake money back. I can't do it. I felt kind of bad because it was like, if that's your hustle and somebody walked in there with counterfeit money to make you think they made it rain on you, sis, like, emotional damage. Fatality. That's what I have today. My name's Lexus Moore David. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, do it. And I'll see you next time.